Productions, and welcome to Conrail. As you can see, a few things have changed. We'll talk about them. So the first thing that's changed is my seating arrangements. I've had that same gray chair for many years. I forget how long I got it, but it was actually I got that chair and a desk which I have upstairs from my grandmother's estate when she passed away. So the chair is not going to go anywhere. I'm going to keep it, and it'll be over here so I can run my transformers. But I did get a new seat for doing videos, and I would like to give a shout out to Chaz, the layout master. So let's take a look at this seat right now. So as you can see, this is a bar stool. Chaz custom made this. I'm really happy with it. He did a great job with the graphics, the color. I mean, everything's just spot on. He did a good job. It was easy to deal with him. He made sure we went back and forth with messages, making sure I was happy with what I wanted, because I wanted the Conrail up front and I wanted the Conrail and the logo up top. There was people saying I should have gotten Conrail, but I didn't want that. I want everything to be Conrail. And you know, the payment options, or the way you pay him, was very easy to use as well. My overall experience is really good with Chaz. So he does make these custom made. So if you got a logo, your own logo, he can make a bar stool with your own logo. If you want a railroad name, he can do that too. So don't be afraid to get in touch with Chaz, the layout master. He is on Instagram. I'm not sure if he has an actual... I think he's got a website too. I have to find out and put a link into the description of this video. I'm pretty sure he does. So the only thing that's missing is I like to have a table. Is there anybody who makes custom tables? About 2 foot wide, round. Sort of like the Lionel tables that dealers had for sale, but not that, maybe not that big. Just 2 foot, blue with the Conrail logo on top of it, this high, or maybe something that telescopes up and down a foot or two. I think that would be cool to go with this chair. But yeah, I would like to get one of them. And also, there's new to the studios is there's a sign back here I want to show everybody. That was custom made, designed, and printed by Mr. Pictavid, Andrew Fitch. So if you guys aren't familiar, Andrew Fitch of Mr. Pictavid, he's a large-scale YouTube channel, and he have a great live show called the Large Scale Live, where they bring aboard manufacturers, they bring aboard clubs, they teach you how to do different things. So if you're getting into G scale or large scale, check out the Large Scale Live on a YouTube channel called Mr. Pictavid. So take a look at that. Let's take a look at this sign. I mean, I love how he designed this. And again, he worked with me back and forth. We did several tweaks on this back and forth. And then I was happy with it, but he wasn't. And he made like, I don't know, 3 or 4 more tweaks after that. I'm like, wow, you really got the details on this thing. So he worked really hard on this, and it was part of the deal. He's going to create the sign and give it to me for coming out to do the video shoot at the his large-scale train show in Ohio. So let's take a look at this sign. Alright, so here you guys go. I have it hung up, and he did a really good job on this. As anybody knows, I like trains and trucks, so he made sure to include that. So here we have the camcorder. Here we have the truck. He did a great job. I love this because this is the old school way of how trucks were. They would paint the body the main color, and then the fenders were always black. So if it was a green truck, black fenders. Yellow truck, black fenders. Red truck, black fenders. And that's how it was in the old school days. But you can see he even got my Deckman Productions logo in there. Great job. And then the locomotive. Oh my God, he did a good job on this. Yeah, so this is the Conrail locomotive. You guys can see, got the CR logo on front and the silver and yellow. He's got 2010 on here as a road number. That's the year my YouTube channel started. And the Conrail logo on the side of it. Yeah, he did an excellent job on that locomotive. That is such a cool locomotive. You know, now that I look at that, that'd probably be a cool locomotive to come out with as a custom run for you guys. Do that like on a GP40 or something. That would be super cool. But at any rate, so let's get back to our regular video schedule here. And hopefully this is a better shot. So I'm trying to, because I had the tripod set up for the old seat, and I'm looking at it, like the camera's pointing up at me and it should be pointing even with me. And so I just now made that tweak. So this video is sort of like an experiment of where to set the tripod, how high to set it, so bear with me if it doesn't quite capture me the whole entire video. But at any rate, speaking of video, you guys notice that there is a difference in the way this video looks. That's because I'm using a brand new camcorder. I've been using my cell phone for the last, I don't know, almost 8 months, something like that. My old camcorder was on its way out, giving me problems, so I tried to use it sparingly, only in situations where I knew I would need it. But the DC independent high railers came up to me and said, "Hey Sean, how you making out with any donations towards your camcorder?" I'm like, well, at this point I really haven't gotten any. And so they held their own donation behind, you know, without me knowing about it, and then presented me with the donations at the Great Scale Train Show in Timonium. And I was just so thankful towards what they did for me. I was able to get my camcorder just in time to cover the large scale train show in Ohio. And I'm glad I had that camcorder because I could zoom out and zoom in. There are spots, you know, you're always going to need a combination of a camcorder and a cell phone if you're going to do what I'm doing as far as video shooting. But at any rate, let's get to the subject of the day, and that is the we're going to talk about the Lionel 6464 boxcars. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, Deckman, you bought post-war boxcars? No, what happened is that Lionel ended up reissuing the 6464 post-war boxcars after you know, the post-war ended in 1969. So here we have, I'll show you an example. These are all going to be 6464 Conrail overstamp cars. Now I knew about these because my friend actually had these back in the 90s, and I knew that you know, he had only the one set, I believe. No, he had 2 sets. I don't think he bought the third one. But at the time he bought these, the hobby shop told him, they said, "Oh yeah, these are going to be really valuable. You should buy these and save them and don't run them and just throw them away." So he ended up buying a couple sets of the same thing. I'm having a hard time getting these out. Hold on. So he bought duplicate sets so he could run one set and keep the other, thinking that you know, these would be valuable someday. And here they are. These are the reissue of the post-war era Conrail 6464 box cars. Now these were the Conrail overstamped ones were reissued right around 1998. So that's how long ago these were produced. But again, these, quite honestly, they were all hyped up when they first came out. The problem is that Lionel made way too many of them. They made way too many of these sets. They didn't sell like they thought they were going to sell. People just didn't buy them. So basically what happened is, after all these years, you still see these sets up for sale. Sometimes used, sometimes brand new. Here, I actually bought, I had that set already. I ended up buying these two sets because they were so dirt cheap. And look at this. This set is still wrapped up, brand new, and it's plastic. Not even opened up yet. Now this one is supposed to be the Central New Jersey and Lehigh Valley Conrail overstamped. Brand new. Never even opened. And this is not uncommon to find these brand new still sealed like this. So I'm going to open this up and pull them out. And I know you guys are thinking, no, you're going to ruin the value. Don't do it. Save them forever. So between this set and the next set, there's 4 cars, 2 cars in each set. You know how much I paid for these? Each car ended up being $24.74. There's no value. There will never be any value in these at all. So I might as well just play with them and have fun with them, which is what I intended to do with them in the first place. And I know people say, oh, you're insulting. No, I'm just telling you the truth of what I think my opinion is. And I don't think I'm going to be wrong on this one when I say there's going to be no value. And besides that, I don't buy trains to put on the shelves and just look at them. Everything I have and bought has been run. Everything. I find it's kind of like sad when people buy trains and put them on the shelf and never get to run them. You don't get to enjoy it. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure people enjoy just collecting and looking at them. But for me, I like to, if I'm buying it, I want to run them. Alright. Brand new sealed, opened up. And for the first time ever in its life. And this box is, I'm trying to find a date on this. 1998 is the date on this box for the Central New Jersey and Lehigh Valley Conrail overstamped cars. So this is the first time they've seen daylight since 1998. And yes, we're going to run these on video. We're definitely going to run these cars. Have some fun with them. And I hope there's no zinc pest. That's the only downfall to buying old stuff like this. Make sure you do your research. Because some rolling stock that features die-cast trucks suffer from what's called zinc pest. What that means is the die-cast metal actually breaks down over time, and the next thing you know, when you look in the box, all you see is crumbled up pieces of freight trucks. And And it was cool to have the outer boxes, but I'm not going to keep the outer cartons with these. I'll just keep the set box, and that'll be about it. Some people don't keep boxes at all. I like to have the boxes in case I go to resell them. I can always put them back in a box. It makes it easier for shipping. Some people don't have room and throw the boxes out altogether. However, for me, I need the box, so if you go to sell it and you throw the box away, I'm not buying it. That's just the way I operate. Alright, so let's open this up. Again, first time being opened up. You seen it was sealed since 1998. So these things are quite old already. Ooh, wow. Grab that original paperwork. Authorized Lionel service centers. So this is actually, the paperwork is dated the year 2000. So these were probably released at that point in time, even though the box is marked 1998. Again, it was hard to do research of the exact date when they were made. I'm sure people know offhand and will put it in the comments, which is much appreciated, because I'm not saying I get it right every time. I don't. I'm not perfect. Oh. Huh. That's cool. So I have a Reading car that's overstamped in Conrail, and I have a New Haven that's overstamped in Penn Central. That's cool. Because for those who may not know, New Haven was originally taken over by Penn Central. I also found this Lionel Pennsylvania overstamped Conrail boxcar. Separate sale, 15 bucks. So for those who are saying, because I keep getting comments, who can afford this hobby? What kind of job do you have that you can afford all this? How can we afford this? Nobody says you need to go out and buy scale rolling stock. Nobody says you need to go out and buy legacy or Vision Line locomotives or even DCS. There's plenty of options out there of cheaper rolling stock, and I just proved it, because I'm not a rich person by any means, and for the amount of money I spent on these items, if I was to buy scale rolling stock, I would have only been able to buy 2 pieces, because you see the prices of Lionel and even the NTH rolling stock that's full scale, full 148 dimensions. They're pushing $100 a piece. So for what I spent, so $24.75 a piece for each one of these cars, and I got 4 of them, and this for 15. You can't beat that. You can't tell me you can't afford 15 bucks for a boxcar. And nobody says there's anything wrong with it. I'm a YouTube channel. I'm not saying the most popular one, and I'm buying non-scale rolling stock. There's nothing wrong with it. It's all in a matter of having fun. Nobody says that you need to have full-size scale rolling stock to have fun. Just trains in general are fun. And I have 2 separate layouts. I do have a separate layout for my semi-scale trains. So one of the things I'm going to do is what I'm wanting to do here is I'm creating a Conrail overstamp train in semi-scale for my semi-scale layout, my MPC era layout. Even though this stuff is newer than MPC era, I understand that. But this is all traditional stuff that you can have fun with. So the plan is I want to find a Lionel MPC era Conrail GP9. Now they had a GP20, which that had the electronic reversing unit in it. My understanding is there was some problems with that reversing unit. So I guess there was replacements for them later on. But the Conrail GP9 unit that was made in MPC era has the regular standard mechanical reversing unit in it. So I can find them here and there. I mean, you can get those for $80 to $100 used, anywhere from $100 to $175 new. It all depends because of what kind of work I want to put into it. Because if I find a brand new one sealed, then I'm going to have to take it apart. And I know you guys are like, why? Why would you have to take apart a brand new locomotive? Because anytime you buy anything that is really old like that, especially from the MPC era, Lionel pre-greased those. They put grease onto the gears and stuff. Well, it does something called congealing, meaning that the grease hardens up like a brick. And when you go to put it on the track, it will not move because the grease is hard. And I'll never forget. So my MPC era GG1 that I got, which is a Penn Central in black, it was brand new, and I remember I had to take it all apart and break it down, break the motors apart, and had to get all the hardened grease out. And I remember having to go through the gears with brushes and picks, and I'm thinking, do I really want to go through that again just to get something brand new, or do I want to find something used, hoping it was only used a couple of times and they just threw like kind of lube on it? I don't know, but we'll see. But I definitely want to have a Conrail overstamped train running on my traditional layout. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get these on the track and we'll run them. Okay, for those who may not know, this is my traditional layout that you're seeing here. Originally I set up for all my MPC era trains, and then I started adding some other traditional size trains to it as I see something I like in traditional size. It's being powered by all Lionel transformers, old school, except for one that you'll see here. I'll tell you why in a minute. But here we have the old school ZW. That was a refurb from New York Electric Trains. Here we have a TW, and then we have the MTH Z1000. Some of the Lionel MPC era trains, such as the GG1, like to run better on that for some reason. I don't know why. And then I had this little tiny starter set transformer just for accessories, just the power accessories. And here we'll give you a long shot of the layout. There you go. All done in traditional Lionel blue and orange colors. So today we're going to pull this train, the MPC era Preamble Express, not to be confused with the Lionel Legacy Preamble Express. So this is the original MPC era version. You can find these things cheap, anywhere from 50 to 80 bucks, maybe 100 if it's brand new. So here you go again. You can buy a fairly reasonably priced locomotive. No, it's not going to have sounds. No, it's not going to have a horn. No, it's not going to have smoke. But who cares? You know, you got something that you can run that's reasonably priced. And this locomotive will, or has, actually outlasted a lot of the MTH PS1 and PS2 board locomotives. And I know I just hurt the feelings of some MTH people, but that's the truth. Especially when it comes to them 5-volt boards. But at any rate, so we're going to go ahead and run this for you guys. So yeah, you can have fun on a budget. I didn't pay any more than $24.75 per car, except for the first one I paid 15 bucks for. That locomotive you can buy and find for $50 to $80. And then down here to caboose, in the box you can buy that caboose for 10 bucks. In a box. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching another Deckman Productions video. We'll catch you at the next train show or the next event. See you trackside. Goodbye.